My name is Cassy Summers. Welcome to the Curious Universe podcast. Welcome to the Curious Universe. Hello, my friends. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Today, we're going to explore becoming your own business architect. That felt like a mouthful all of a sudden. So what do I mean by that? I think I've always loved business, and I realize now, looking back over my life, that as a kid, I was always like that born entrepreneur. Like, I think I was trying to start businesses. Like, I was like, let's sell mud pies. Like, let's do this, let's do that. I always had this sense of business, but here's the however. I didn't really feel like I fit into what I was seeing around me as business owners. So I didn't feel confident. I didn't really get a sense like I could really do business. Definitely not on a large, like, global scale at all. Like, if you would have told me that I had like I would have an international business this lifetime, I would have probably laughed at you, you know? It wasn't until I started to really, really notice those more unique entrepreneurs that I even contemplated that I could do something. I always thought I could probably do something kind of little. I remember I worked at this amazing company for a while, and it would be kids' birthday parties. So I got to dress up like Tinkerbell or Cinderella, and then I would go to a kid's birthday party and I could celebrate with them and made really good money. It was amazing. And became really, really close with the mom and daughter that had started that business, and kind of had learned from them like what it took for them to get it started, what it took for them to kind of maintain it, how they could grow it. And I had so many ideas I wanted to share with them, but I actually held back a lot of them because, again, I'm like, well, who am I? I don't have a business degree. I did take business in university, but I didn't complete it. I actually found it incredibly boring, these economic classes and these like everything. The only thing I enjoyed was my marketing class, which I thought was fantastic and super, super interesting. So I just kind of held back a lot of where I saw where they could have expanded. Now, fast forward, I start to dive into the tools of access consciousness. If you've listened to the show, you know I'm obsessed with the tools of access consciousness. I talk about them every show. If you're new here, check out accessconsciousness.com, please. It is a set of tools and techniques that can literally change everything in your life. I love them. They're so amazing. And I kind of was presented with this new skill. So I could do something called the access bar. So I could run it. You just hold points in someone's head and I could run the access bars. And I would just kind of do it with everyone that would let me to start with. I just wanted to like gift it for free. And then I started to hear people talk about charging. And I was like, okay, well, that could be good. And at the time I was married and he didn't really like what I was doing. So I thought, well, if I can find a way to make money at this, then he'll be nice about it and he'll let me continue. So basically, consciousness tricked me into starting a business. So here I am starting this business and wondering, how am I going to do this? You know, Access Consciousness has a lot of business tools. So I started to like learn those and I started to play with them. But the thing about Access Consciousness business tools is they're so different than what you're going to get out of a business webinar or what I was getting out of university. I don't want to say it's better, but it was definitely better for me because it resonated, it clicked with what I knew, and it was all about empowering me to discover what I knew about business just from my awareness, not from the education I had. Because, like I had said, my education was really low. My first 2 years in business, yeah, it was all about like, I don't know, like boring economic classes that were fun. I passed them, but I don't feel like I learned anything from it really. Um, so I learned by going along. I learned by just starting. I learned by like leaping. I learned by messing up. I learned. So here, let's get to the architect part because this part's taking too long. So through this, I developed my own my own capacities to blueprint my business to like and when I say blueprint, when you like the architect, I want to make very clear I'm not looking at something structured. I'm not looking at creating something solid because that is this reality. That is what the schooling is for. If you want that, go to university. What I'm looking at is designing a platform for your business that actually works for you, yes, you, and allows you to grow your own capacities and allows you to outcreate it and expand it into something greater and greater continuously. Now, why am I encouraging you to become your own architect? Because if you go into someone else's model, like okay, take any relationship that you know right now and and take out like one person and insert yourself. Would it ever work the exact same way that it's working? Even whether it's a shitty relationship or a great one. Like it would change no matter what, because even if it's like your best friend, you're really close to them, or even it's your sister and you guys are very similar, there's enough differences in the energy that you are that no matter what, you couldn't fit into that box. And that's the same with business. You can't just insert yourself and think nothing's going to change. It will always change. So what we look for in a lot of the entrepreneurs in the realm is they're looking for a pre-packaged box and they're going to insert that box into them. They're going to insert that box into their business. They're going to try and morph themselves to fit into this mold, thinking this is going to make me successful. And sometimes it can work for a short time, which is so misleading. And it gets exciting though. You're like, oh my God, this is working. And for a short time, it's like working. And then it will eventually fall apart because it's not yours. You didn't design it. It's not tailored to you. The dress doesn't fit. Okay. When you actually become your own architect, when you can create your own platform and then create a new one and then create a new one, like my business has completely morphed and transformed over the last uh gosh, forever ago. I've had a business for like 8 years, 9 years, something like that. When I first created it, it was like from this particular vibration that I was functioning from. And then it had to change. And sometimes it pushed me to change. And then I would change. And then it had to change. And then people would come on and work in my business and then they would leave. And it's just been this magical creation. But if I was trying to maintain what I had, or if I didn't have the tools to redesign it continuously, I my sense is that my business would have failed by now. I would have lost it. I would have gone into massive debt, whatever. I would have given up. Becoming your own architect empowers you to create something that will work for you, that is literally designed for you. Like I always think, imagine all your clothes were custom designs. Maybe that's like a life I need to ask for. Imagine your car was custom designed literally for you specifically. I remember buying my first car on my own, like as uh no, so I'd owned a car when I was like young, but it was like a beater, okay? My first brand new car off the lot when I was a single woman, single mom. And the car, like everything about this guy was trying to push this one car because it had all these fancy things. And I get in, and at the time I had a mohawk. And my mohawk touched the roof of the car, and I was like, I can't live this way. There's no way I can live this way. Um, sorry, still getting over a bit of a cold. So I turned on this car and it was like, no, and it was not the right color. And I'm like, look, I need it blue and I need it tall enough so my mohawk never touches the ceiling because that will drive me crazy. Magically, there happened to be some like secret lot somewhere and there was a blue car and I bought her and I love her so much. Her name is Clarity. Um, But imagine it was designed like for your body, designed for your preferences, designed for your lifestyle. You can actually design your business that way. Like design your business around your lifestyle. It's not about us fitting again into some business model. Like, oh, if I'm an entrepreneur, that means I need to work all the time and I never get breaks and I work on the weekends. So a lot of people will tell you that, but that's their design. That's what they've designed their business as. What would you want to design your business as if you could have anything? You could really be that architect for a different possibility for you. Maybe you're a single mom and you want it to work around your kid's schedule or your partner's schedule. Maybe, sorry, I had to turn on my heater because it's kind of hot in here talking about all this business magic. Perhaps um you want weekends off all the time, or maybe you love working on the weekends. It's the best excuse to get out of doing stupid stuff you don't want to do. And you want to like just work on the weekends and have the whole week to do kind of like a regular 9 to 5 job that has some steady income. Like, what if you could design it? And here's the thing is when you have the tools, no one's designed it for you. And that doesn't mean that you don't get facilitation, you don't get contribution, but you design it for you. There will become a point where you will have to change it because you will change, because it will change, because it's growing, because it will grow. You have these tools to then redesign it. When I had really got into getting very clear on business energetics in a different way. I fumbled along. Come on, I fumbled along for years. I had some crazy successes like right out of the gate that I could not explain or understand. Just using these capacities that I already had with communicating with my business. However, when I really started to get clear on what I wanted my business to be, like I wanted to design the whole thing, not just like this little piece and then this class, this client, this thing. I was like looking at the whole thing. What do I want to design this and create this as? I wanted to travel. I wanted to be facilitating a live class once a month. I wanted to be traveling to network opportunities once a month. I wanted to be meeting really interesting people. I wanted to be creating impact and change in different countries. I wanted to explore the world. I wanted my business to support me traveling and having these incredible experiences. And in quite a short time, my business, all of that came to actualization. It all came to fruition for me. And I was loving my life. I was literally I would say to everyone like, "Oh my God, this is my dream. Like this is my dream. My business is my dream come true right now." Well, then 2020 hits, COVID hits, stop traveling. Also, my oldest kiddo comes and he lives with me full time. Well, now I can't travel as much. He doesn't want to travel. So here I am looking at my business going like, well, this doesn't fit anymore. This isn't going to work. None of this is going to work. So then it was about like clearing out a bunch of energy and then sitting down, having some chats with my business and stepping into that architect role again and redesigning it. Okay, well, what would I like this to look like now? What would work for me and my business? You have to include your business. Your business is an entity. It has its own consciousness. It has an awareness. If you exclude it in the creation, then just like if you were like, if you were going to create like a date night with someone, but you completely excluded their preferences, they're like, it's like someone who's, you order food they're allergic to in a place that is too small for their height and in an atmosphere that's too loud and they have sound sensitivity. Like, it's not going to be a very good date. So if you design your business without the inclusion of the consciousness and awareness of your business, it's probably not going to go so well. Um, just saying. So get into the architect role, communicate with your business. And what if you could really design something that will work for you no matter what? And I want to say no matter what, because everyone's going to tell you, well, you have to do this. But you have to do it this way and you have to do it this way. What if none of that is true? What if you could really have what you want? It might not happen instantly, and it might. It might take some tweaking. It might require you to step out of your comfort zone. It might require you to receive more than you ever imagined possible. But what if you could really have your dream business? Now, if you don't like own your own business, whether it's a virtual business or a brick and mortar business, you might be like, but Cassy, what are you even talking about? I work at a company, or I'm a stay-at-home mom, or. The thing is, your business is truly your life. And I heard that kind of for a while, especially through Access Consciousness. It's a saying with Joy of Business, which is a specialty topic class that I love so much. I didn't really get it until I started to look at systems in my life that worked and systems that were failing. And I was like, I am not I kind of like got so excited about my business. I'm not gonna lie. I took a lot of energy out of my life, my lifing, and I was just over here creating. And so when you take your creative energy out of something, it usually falls apart unless it has its own generator. I didn't have a generator. So then certain things in my life kind of started to fall apart. And I was like, wow, if this was a business, if I walked in to my life from like a business perspective, I would be like, this is not being tended to. There are a lot of issues going on. So I had to actually really look at my life as if I was running it like a business, what would I change here? Wow, so much, by the way. It was almost overwhelming when I first looked at it. And then I just used my tools and I took some steps and I started to apply the energetics and I started to ask questions and I started to create my life like this fluid rocket ship kind of business that and it has been changing so much over the last couple of years as my kids age. That's changing as my own personal desires have completely changed in the last couple of years. So it keeps changing. And that's why like stepping into being that architect to discover the architect within you is a continuous tool and capacity that you will use your whole life, whether it's for your business, whether it's for your career, whether it's for your life. What if you could design your career the way that you want it to be? You might have a million stories that come up about that, right? Because it's like, well, you have an employer and you have the company and like all the things, right? Those are just the stories. And when you apply the tools, you can work within the realms of, I would actually say not even within the realms, you can go beyond the realms of reality into the realms of possibility, into the realms of creation, and actualize a different reality for yourself. Again, it might not be overnight. Those overnight schemes usually don't work. Like, have you noticed that? It usually takes a little bit more choice, a little bit more of you, a little bit more patience, a little bit more possibility. So let's play with this just a little bit, just a little bit. Let's get curious. If you were the architect of your business, so that could be if you own a business or maybe it's your career. And yes, being a mom, I think to me, that's a career. We don't get paid for it. No, but it's a career. So what would you change? Just kind of explore that for a minute. If you were the architect, if it wasn't like your kids were handed to you and this was handed to you and you had to, if you like someone gave you the pre-made box and you had to fit it into you or you were fitting into someone else's pre-made box, you were really the architect for it. What are some of the top, like maybe even two or three things that you would change right away? Even if you don't know how to change them, just write it down. What would you change? Okay, cool. Now, Now look at that for your life, because your business is your life. So even if you have a business and you did it for that, I want you to look at your life like as a like if your life was a business. Okay. So you've got the food department, you've got the bill department, you've got the revenue department, the accounting, you've got the body department, you've got the clothing department, the luxury department. Oh, yes. I think I need to expand the luxury department, home department. Okay. So what if you were the architect for it? Again, just let the stories go to the side because of course it's going to include other people. And you might have bought certain things aren't possible for you. All those things. We're just put that over there for a minute. Look at this. Okay. What are like the top 2 to 3 things that you would change? They don't even have to be like there's bad things. Maybe you're just aware of there's more things that something could expand, something could be greater. Maybe you're having like this wonderful creationship and you just want to see them a little bit more, whatever it is. Like how would you, if you were the architect for that, what are the couple things that you would change? Or do you need to start from like ground zero? Do you need to reset? That's kind of what showed up for me when I was forced to stay home in COVID. I was like, oh, now I have to look at all the things that I don't actually like about this and really go, I just want to start over. Like it doesn't even feel fun to go in and tweak a few things and change a few things. I wanted to like clear the slate and start over, kind of like moving to a new house or, instead of like organizing the closet, I want to pull everything out. And then I want to like look at the whole thing and then put back only what I truly desire. So that's what I did. I cleared everything out and I started to really look at, okay, even people, I was like, they can go. Do I want to put them back? Yes, no. Okay. And really played with that as I was designing my life, as I was becoming the architect for my life. And here I am again at another point of change and another, like, actually, it's more like a space of creation where I'm like, oh, wow, there's something more available for me personally in my life that just actually wasn't there before. Probably based on the vibration that I was functioning from, what's going on in the world, a million different reasons. But as I've like changed so drastically in the last, I would say even like 3 months, um, there's all these new things available for me. And I'm redesigning. Now, I'm not going back to reset like I did before because there's a lot of beautiful things I love about my life, but there's definitely this big like fiery desire to have more, to create more, to add more, and to clear out a lot of the stuff that is more resonant with a vibration that I no longer am. That's the gift of being the architect. You get to do that. You could do that. And I'm gonna like plug something. If you ever heard of the Home Edit, okay, I absolutely love them. There's these 2 girls, they're hilarious. Super fun couple. And they actually will edit like people's homes. So they'll come in and do their closet, they'll do their pantry, they'll do big spaces, small spaces, whatever. I love them. They have a YouTube channel, Instagram channel, and they also have a show on Netflix. Okay. And a book. I bought the book. I bought it. A book and like a book and then like a journal book or something. I don't know what the journal book is, but I bought the book. They have a lot of books. Check out their website. Anyways, the Home Edit, phenomenal. And so they really look at editing out. So like the step 1 is you clear all the stuff that you no longer actually love, that no longer works for you. They have like this whole process, right? And I love it. You could audit, you could edit, you could do that with your business, with your life, with anything. And if you need inspiration, just watch them for a while because you get so inspired and you want this very like organized, like tidy space. Or at least I do. And they actually make like they do some pretty impossible things. And what if you're capable of some pretty impossible things with with your life and with your business? there could be something that needs to be edited out that you're just not aware of, that no one asked you the right question. It just wasn't out of your realm of awareness. And this is what I love about these tools, about business energetics itself, is getting to the energetics of stuff. So a lot of the time when we're moving something out, we're editing something out. It's not necessarily just, oh, I don't really use this thing anymore. That's true. But there is that vibrational incongruency. There is when things don't match anymore and you're trying to make them work. You're like, I love this t-shirt. I had it when I was in college. I don't know. Like, I don't hold on to that, but it's okay to let stuff go. And it's okay to have new stuff come in. Like, it's okay to completely change like your clothing style, to change your hairstyle, to change everything. Like, it's really exciting. Just like I would imagine, like some people, they want to live in the same house until, like, I don't know, forever. They moved into some house, they want to be there for the rest of their lives. For me, I've never moved into a house that exactly matched everything I was asking for. It had a lot of elements. So I'm aware of designing my own home. And that is something that I've been asking for to actualize in my life, just like I designed my own business from that being the architect. Now, would I have to get an actual architect to look at my designs? Of course, because I didn't go to school for that and I have no desire to. But how much fun can you be being the architect for your business? Ah, I love business. In case you can't tell, I'm so enthusiastic about it. Business for me is a way of creating in the world that can generate like infinite possibilities, including wealth. Like, that's for me, like, if I was just going to sum up business, business is this vehicle of possibility. And you don't have to get into someone else's car. You actually can have that car customized for you. Would you? And all of this being said, I feel like I'm just inviting you to something here. I was trying to like dig in with this, but I think we need to dig in together on Zoom. So Zoom is like this online, if you don't know what Zoom is, it's an online thing. You log in, you don't even need to have an account, and we're just together, and there's boxes and pictures and people, and we engage and we talk and we ask questions, and we're gonna write stuff down, and we're gonna explore this. And I would love to empower you to become your own architect for your business. And again, if you don't have a business, just use it for your life. Like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Everything's going to get greater. Use it for your closet. I don't care. Like, let's get together and let's explore creating your energetic blueprint for your business. That's what I'm going to invite you to today. I just every time I just want to invite you to it because I'm just so excited. I'm going to put a link. It's free, by the way. FYI, breaking news. It's completely free. There's going to be a link in the description wherever you find this, YouTube, Spotify, all the things. We're in the iTunes store, iTunes podcast thing too. Yeah. And let's create 2025 to be really different. And look at those top 3 things that I asked you to explore, like in your curious universe, those top 3 things that you would love to change. And you can ask, what are the top 3 things missing? Like, what are the top 2 to 3 things that are missing from your business right now? Okay, cool. What if you could be the architect that could design those things showing up as if by magic? Because you really, like, you are the only one that really can. Just like I said, like, you can't fit into someone else's relationship. No one else can really truly design your business for you other than you. Now, consultants can come in, they can give you lots of ideas. They can ask you questions and help pull it out of you, which is something I love doing, but they have to pull it out of you because it has to be you. Because the only business that will ever work for you is one that was custom for you, that was designed by you, for you, with you. That is the only thing that will ever work, truly. Now, some people have a capacity to come in and alter a business to work for them. If that's you, then this still applies. And that's completely fine because that's a really cool capacity. Like I love to come into different teams that I work on with in access consciousness. And I come in and I kind of observe and I take kind of a sense of this. And then I will start to like be the energy that transforms and changes the whole system of what's going on to something greater and more expansive and more possible. Architect, you have the capacity to. You might know it and would love just to kind of do it with some people. You might not know it and be like, what are you talking about? I have no capacity. So pretend you don't and just come on with me and pretend I'm going to do it for you. And then we're going to see what happens. We're going to see if you're amazed with yourself and you're so proud of yourself and you're so grateful for yourself for showing up and for stepping into something different and discovering that you're capable of far more than you ever knew you were capable with business. Okay. So I'm going to see you there. You're going to come. We're going to play. I can't wait. Try and be there live because it is more fun. Just saying. I'm going to drop it low. And thank you for joining me in the Curious Universe podcast, where we bypass the structures of reality so you can create your own reality. And we're going to create your own reality with business soon. Very, very soon. Bye for now.
Thank you for exploring the curious universe with me. Your curiosity matters. And what if together we could create a greater, more curious world?